How you doing, everyone? It's Mr. Fight Fan TV. We're here with Danny Glover from Fight Fan. We've got a special guest in the house, Spider, Craig Richards. What's going on, people?
Come on, the love now. Come on,
So
let's go.
obviously, fight week, British light heavyweight title, Channel 5 against Shakan Pitters. How you
Uh-huh.
feeling?
I feel good, ready, feeling sharp. Just done my last bit of preparation this week. Feeling good for my preparation. Weights on point. Everything's on the go. Got my team up here, my training team,
Mhm.
my physio, my trainer, everything. So everything's underway and prepared properly.
Obviously, whereabouts are you now? What area are you in? Birmingham or?
Uh, it's Birmingham, an area called. I forgot the area. What's it
Redditch.
called? Redditch, that's the
Reddit.
one. Area called Redditch, Gloucestershire.
Oh yeah, up in the sticks, yeah. Not used to the busy
Yeah.
London, different from the busy London life.
Different treatment overall up here. So it's it's a different ball game.
So tell us like how's this fight gonna go? Or tell us. Actually, you know what? Yeah, how long we got you for?
As long as you need me for.
All right, I like that. So let's let the fans know the backstory, how you got into boxing and stuff. Let's go deep in it.
All right. Well, I started boxing a little bit when I was young, about 14. Um, I was doing a bit of South Northern Victory, not much, just ticking over. About 13, 14, and then I stopped for years. And then actually, Danny Glover, he he used to box at the Lynn, invited me down for some sparring. I come down there, was training down there for about a year and a half. Still not competing or anything. I was just there, training, sparring, just the usual. Not keep fitter, but, not competing as such. Eventually, the head coach had left. When he left, I left with him. Then he set up his own academy. That was Terry Palmer. He set up Palmer's Academy. And at 21, I went back down there, was training. And then I thought, I saw some guys when I was back boxing before that. I believed that I was better than, and I saw them doing a lot better than I was, but I wasn't boxing and consistent, and they was. So I said to myself, the difference between me and them was their consistency. So I said, if I ever go back to boxing, I would just be consistent, give it a go until when I stop, I'm stopped. So I'd never want to look back and say, I wonder what I could have, should have, would have done. So I hit it at 21, had my first bout at Leslie Hall. I remember getting fighter of the night. Uplifted me a bit. The family was a bit against the box at the time. They was telling me go university, scrap this boxing stuff.
Sure.
So I done that, and then they started believing me in a bit, said I'm talented, but they still want me to have other options. But I never done that. I just kept my head down. 3 years in the game, 22 amateur fights, one box cup, little bits and pieces, nothing too spectacular. 3 years after that, got signed to turn professional with Peter Sims. I was down at the Sims gym, had my debut on Matchroom 2015, May the 28th on the Young Guns show. Stopped my opponent in 49 seconds. Eddie liked the look of me, put me back on a few more times. I was boxing well. Then he gave me my step up in opponent, Richard Horton, with a winning record. I blasted him out in one round, and then he rewarded me. I put him in a Golovkin Kelbrook card, and the journey went from there. 7 fights after that, I won my first title against a guy, 12-0, 6 knockouts, Alan Higgins. Pushed on to beat the Portuguese champion, had a tick-over fight, and then I had a British title fight against Buglioni at the weight above, at light heavyweight on 5 days' notice. We rolled the dice. I made a decent account of myself, but come up short. But I didn't look at it as in I took it on 5 days' notice. I just looked at it as like, what could I have done to improve outside of that? I realized I need to grow into the weight a bit more. So I grew up into the weight a bit more. Boxed 3 guys with winning records after that. Knocked them all out within 3 rounds. On the second one, Jake Paul actually called me out. He was the WBA Continental Champion at the time. We then got it on eventually with a lot of cancellations and that. February the 2nd, I went out and blasted him out in 3 rounds, dropped him every round. In the end, stopped him in 3, become the WBA Continental Champion to get my world rankings. Then Andre Sterling called me out for a final British Eliminator. Then I boxed him, beat him over 12. And then I had a tick-over fight, just an 8-rounder, just against a guy called Shugden. Never really got much up for it. felt like I won the fight, but they warranted a draw. We don't cry and complain. We just moved on, and we're just ticking over, waiting for this big fight for the British title to happen, which I've been a year and a half mandatory for, and now we're here. So what I've been waiting for a year and a half, and finally got my hands on, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, you give us the backstory correct. Still, yeah, left no stone unturned. So
Nah, I
obviously
thought I
now,
went through the whole CV.
yeah. So now we're here. We're at the British title fight. So basically, Shakan, him getting the British light heavyweight title shot. Did he? What was his first? Was it against the English title? Was against what's his
Dick Spellman.
Bellman, and he got the British title shot against Chad Shugden.
Shugden.
Is that the guy he had
Yeah,
for 8 rounder, right?
yeah, and he told me I wasn't credible for a 10 rounder if I couldn't defend my title against him.
Mm.
He's not credible for a 10 rounder, but yet he done an 8 rounder. Now he's credible for 12 and a British title. So he got a touch. So I'm just
Okay.
gonna clear things up on Friday, make sure everything goes back how it should be.
Mm.
Right. So, are you able to tell us about the bit of the ins and outs of how you managed to get your British title shot and how you then, how your opponent came up for you to fight against, because as you was mandatory from last year times, weren't it?
Yeah, so basically, obviously coming off a couple good wins of domestic wins, like Jake Ball, obviously I've beat Higgins and all that. And obviously I've mixed it up with Buglioni, who's the British champion at the time. From then I was set around that British level.
Okay.
And then Andre Sterling had called me out for a final British eliminator. The British Board of Boxing had made the fight for a 12-rounder final eliminator for the British title, which, me, I don't duck and dodge nobody. So I took the fight and beat him, and then that put me mandatory for the British, and that was last year June, and was waiting for an opponent from there. All the possible opponents, the guys ranked around myself, like Jose Burtons, Leon Comrades, and etc. They all decide to tie themselves up in the Stephen Wardy as well. They decided to tie themselves all up in a golden contract, which I didn't have a credible opponent for at that point. So we're just waiting, and they just basically elevated the English champion straight in for the British. So he got fortunate, and we're here now.
Okay. So that would have made you mandatory for 6 months without an opponent then, seeing as it was originally scheduled for December the 19th last year.
Yes,
so
December the 19th
are you able
was scheduled.
So then what happened, why it didn't happen on December the 19th exactly? Would you like to remind us, please?
What's your recollection of events?
At the time we was negotiating a new contract with Matchroom Boxing. So while we was in the middle of the back and forth, just negotiating money, etc. Shaq then took to social media saying, I don't think the fight's going to happen. They haven't sorted their end out. I then went to social media and said, just make sure you're ready for December the 19th. The fight will happen. We finished our negotiations eventually. Eddie was like, yeah, ready to go. He contacted John Pegg. John Pegg said he ain't ready. So he wasn't ready December the 19th. And that's why we're disappointed. We was ready to go. He wasn't ready. And then they done a funny thing, told Eddie they was going to fight on his show in March for the British title against me, and then done some Channel 5 back-ender stuff, putting a big bid in to win the fight on Channel 5. And then, so we went from there, took the fight on Channel 5, and it was meant to happen on March, I think 28th. Then I come down with COVID, was ill, but then the whole show got cancelled due to COVID anyway. And then we said we was ready to go after that. But they said they didn't have to fulfill the purse bids. The board has allowed him to fight Chad in the lockdown period, which was August. We took that on the chin. Then I was meant to fight September, as a little warm-up. They started pressing the situation to try and get around fighting me again, saying we don't know if he's going to be ready, etc. My fight then got pushed back to October anyway, so I was it was like a long camp anyway, so we came out of the gym, and cancelled the fight and just got ready for November the 14th, which as we got closer, a few weeks out, he decided then to pull out with some mysterious injury, saying his nose, his ear. But then I've heard recently his whole team had COVID around that time. John Pegg, Cooler Hand, whatever his name is, the trainer. they all had COVID-19 at the end of October, November time. So obviously maybe his camp wasn't prepared for it, so they pulled out, and then now we're here, December the 18th.
Thank you. That's a
So
very detailed.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Good breakdown. So obviously, the fight is this Friday. We got your weigh-in tomorrow. I imagine you guys must have had a presser today.
Yeah, we had a little e-presser.
Yeah,
You know,
how was that?
it was good. It was enjoyable as always. Uh, yeah, it was funny. I enjoyed it. Last little fun and games before the real action kicks off Friday. Because come Friday, there ain't no fun and games no more. It's war.
Yeah.
So just enjoying day by day myself, enjoying, embracing each day, the pressers embracing the events. I heard they wanted to do another sort of thing tomorrow, but fighting is too close. It's action time now. Zoning, fighters mentality. And talking's done. It's time for the action now.
That's what I like to hear, because it's what it is. I like this fight because you guys have had quite a good, long drawn out press of head to head.
Back and
You
forth.
guys, it seems you guys come back to. You guys are from the old school era of cussing in the playground matches, so your back and forth interactions have been very banterous. Where especially in this PC time, some people get their feelings hurt, but you guys, you seem to take it both on the chin well. He's had his days, you've had your days, where you both come on top of each other and in your back and forth matches, and it's been very good. I see the online stuff is getting very animated. Team Richards and Team Pitters.
Yeah.
There's both. There's good. There's good members of each team going back and forth online. So it's getting a real buzz around the scene. I see.
I see we both got a big support network behind us. I've got a good team and a good network behind me, rooting for me and supporting me. He seems like he's got a good network supporting him and rooting for him. And it's a bit different this time because it's like I've got a lot of people rooting for me who I generally wouldn't really generally message me on a normal fight. But whereas London and Birmingham, I've had a lot of fighters in even London message me, go do the business. A lot of guys like go out, represent. And I'm sure he's got guys in Birmingham, boxers who probably generally wouldn't care about his usual fights, but he's supporting him to represent his town. So it's drawn up a lot of interest.
Yeah.
No, that's what. Well, obviously, the fight's behind closed doors, which is a shame. Do you think this would have been a fight that would have thrived in front of a capacity crowd?
Imagine this fight behind in open with a crowd. This would go off. I'm not sure if Hennessy would have the budget for the security though.
What are you saying? They might have needed right-hand man security up in there.
That's what I'm saying. We'd have to have right-hand man security for this event. Right-hand man limited takes on some serious events from dangerous places in South London, Peckham, to what's it, the urban weekenders to Caribbean weekenders, Southport weekenders. So we know we need a serious security team for that because I know the whole of Brum will be out, the whole of London will be out, families will be getting emotional, friends will be getting emotional, man will be getting emotional. So it could end up going left even because people's emotions will be on the line. So maybe it's best. Everything, I believe, God makes everything happen for a reason. Maybe it was best it was behind closed doors because we'd hate to have a fight and such a good event and someone gets hurt, a family member or something, and we'll have to go left from there. So it's probably best that it's behind closed doors so we can just focus on the task at hand and everyone can root from their TVs.
Obviously, it's live on Channel 5. How do you feel about obviously terrestrial TV, free to air? A lot of eyes are going to be on you because not only the casual, but just the normal people of life, are going to be watching this. So how do you feel? How do you feel about that?
It's good because Channel 5 is free to air and everyone's got access to it. Like I saw my mum's friend the other day. She's a teacher. She's not a big boxing fan. I doubt she pays monthly for Sky Sports or The Zone or BT Sport, or she's paying her £20 a month for pay-per-view. But she said to me the other day, she watched the boxing the other day, she heard they mention my name. So obviously when you're flicking on the TV, if you got free boxing there, Channel 5, everyone from old days, like the older people used to watch Muhammad Ali and Tyson. So when they see that, the women, older women and older men, they're just going to get, oh, free boxing. They're going to want to watch it. It's free, which you don't usually get. Then you get people, maybe you're in a hospital or something, you get it free. Maybe people even in prisons and or in public institutions, they get to watch it because it's just normal TV. And then apps for people who just got iPads and like to just use apps on phones and stuff. So it's very accessible for a wide range of different people, from elderly people in elderly homes to prisons to hospitals to normal people in the day-to-day working class on TVs, and big sports fans who do subscribe to every BT Sports and Sky Sports, etc. They've only got to have a TV to put Channel 5 on to watch this as well.
Yeah, that's very good, because it's a big outreach, because you would have people who might be going through certain situations this year due to obviously the pandemic, and you know, people who are maybe in hostels, they're not going to have Sky TV. You've got grandmothers who they're not, grandfathers and grandmothers who, you know, they're not really going to try and subscribe to Sky. They're more into their terrestrial and all that. And they're going to be able to, you're going to get a wealth and a vast reach of different demographics of people tuning in, which you wouldn't usually otherwise get.
So that's what I'm saying. I'll get a lot of more of the casual fans this time. Obviously, I box on the biggest boxing platform, Sky Sports, and obviously boxed on the Zone as well, but they're hardcore sports boxing fans. But this will just allow me to now have a day to reach the casuals. So yeah, just looking forward to just putting on a good dominant display and letting everyone see. And from there, they can follow my journey with her. Then I go back to Sky or whatever, and they can, you know, follow me over there if they want. So it just gives them a chance to get to have a look at me.
So you're saying this is just an in-out mission? Come get the belt, get the belt back over to
get out.
Yeah, back over to Matchroom side, yeah?
Yeah, that's what the plan is.
Obviously, yeah, like I was saying, you got your weigh-in tomorrow. So, like, for the fans, like, what do you let them know? Like, what do you typically weigh in? What's your like ideal weight? Not giving nothing away. Obviously, I know it's a 175 limit. Are you always bang on the weight, or you know, you a couple pounds less?
I like to be roughly around between 174 to 175. That end, you know, that's preferably my weight. I prefer to come in at. I think I'm usually about 174. I usually come in. So anything to do with that, to just anything under 175 limit, but not too light.
Obviously.
So what? How do you normally prepare food-wise for your camps and that? What typically would you be eating on a general during fight camp and during fight week, like right about now?
Fortunate for myself, I've got a sponsor called the Meal Team. They provide all my foods on a week to week, from different things, from fishes, salmons, chickpeas.
Big up Meal Team.
Big up Meal Team. I don't want to go into the meat stuff because shout out my vegans. But yeah,
I tried that stylist thing for like a couple years. I went Jamaican, pear shaped.
Oh, you said
we didn't hook up with a Rasta man, then that's why they would have gave you the eye towel.
Yeah. No, where it was
chickpeas.
No, where it was, you know, like being like from Niger, like you know, like I've never had the authentic Caribbean food. I've only had the South London stuff, you know. So when I got there, I thought I needed to try every single thing underneath the sun. You know what I'm saying? Except for the jerk pork. I didn't eat none of the jerk pork, but yeah.
We don't eat that swine. No pork on our pork.
But each to their own, though. Each to their own.
I don't discriminate. But I'm just not a pork eater, personally.
What Lex, was you having pig's tail soup?
Nah, is that what you eat? Okay, nah. I've never heard of that. Sorry, you just enlightened me. Nah. I didn't even know that was a thing.
What the tail?
Nah. No swine at all. We don't do that around here, sir, man.
Nah, we don't know tapeworm.
You stylists, you man be jerking the pork and that.
Never.
Not on my drum.
No. I ain't trying to eat no pig sweat bag or nothing like that.
So which part of the cultures do eat the pork then? Is it the The Rastamans or the
The guys who ain't seriously in the culture.
But
Like you always got strays, isn't it? Come
yeah.
on.
Is Shakan from Jamaica as well, or
Yeah, I think he's from Jamaica as well.
all right. Oh, okay. But yeah,
Bit of battle
obviously,
at JA.
yeah, obviously Shakan, he's not a conventional kind of. Is it fair to say he's a bit taller than your average light heavyweight? Is he 6'7" or 6'6"?
About six,
Six,
six and a half, I think. 6'7".
Yeah,
Six and a half, I think. Yeah.
yeah. So he ain't your conventional. Cause I've interviewed him and I remember like the camera, like we had to get hardly just got a shot of him because he's so tall. So like
Very tall.
you know, have you ever fought somebody of that height and reach before? Or
Only in the amateurs, I've boxed people in that height. Sparred plenty of rounds with people that height, but it'll be the first time at professional level I'll be boxing someone at 6'6".
all right. So do you think Shakan poses any threats that you won't be able to handle accordingly, or does he pose anything that makes you think twice? Or
Everyone,
anything?
everyone at this level have posed some sort of threat, because they wouldn't be at this level. But he doesn't have any threats that I can't handle. He's got things that I'll have to handle accordingly and be very switched on and smart. But there isn't anything I don't believe I can handle.
So obviously we got a. I was about to say light middle. So we got a light heavyweight title fight, British. Let the
Come
fans
on.
know. Let the fans know how this is gonna go. How is it gonna end? What's gonna happen? In how do you see this fight going in your eyes? In your
I
head,
think
how do you play it out?
I'm gonna display exactly what I've been working on in the gym, and it's gonna end with me KO and Shakan Pitters.
Oh, we like that. We like that.
Straight
do you
up
have
and
a
down.
do you have a do you roughly a time scale, early, mid, late, or it is when it is?
As quick as he goes. When he decides his body gives up on him and says, I've had enough. this, this is enough's enough now. I'm going to sleep.
Another
And
thing,
that's when it's all over.
sorry to cut you off. There's a notion what I've been seeing on reading comments and stuff. Like I don't know, people think Shakan's a superior boxer. What do you say to that?
No, I don't think it's a superior boxer. I just think that he's used his height very well. He tries to make it awkward with his height, nick points, and play it safe. I wouldn't say he's a superior boxer. He's not the sort of guy you'd have seen in the GB squad in the amateurs, walking through people nationally and from different countries, would you? So I wouldn't say he's boxing superior. I would just say that as a pro, he's used his height at the level he's boxed at quite well to get the wins.
Another things, his record don't suggest he's a puncher. He's putting this notion out here that he's a puncher, that when he hits you, you're not gonna know what's hit you. He's saying he's got the skills to pay the bills. Well, what do you say to this, Craig? Like,
I don't believe he's a puncher at all, but I believe that any guy with over like a certain weight with 10-ounce gloves we won't be silly. They're gonna hit you. You're gonna feel it. But in terms of being a big puncher and one of the big punchers in Britain at light heavyweight, I wouldn't put him down as one of those. I feel he'll feel the difference when I hit him to when he'll hit me.
yeah, is it fair to say that Shakan hasn't been in with the level of the opposition he's facing in you?
100%. You look at the oppositions he's fought, like his best win probably be Dex Spellman. Dex Spellman was the English champion. He took the belt off. The champion before him was Kurt Garvey. You look at the opponents I've boxed out, Andre Sterling, they beat Kurt Garvey. He already beat Kurt Garvey, the English champion. He then boxed someone at British level. He's boxed for the British title. He actually earned himself a mandatory position to box for the British. Ricky Summers, Andre Sterling beat him, so he's already surpassed British level and past English level, which I came out and beat him. Jake Ball, imagine Jake Ball boxing guys like Dex Bowman that he would have knocked him out clean. So I've boxed at a bigger level. So even Buglioni on 5 days notice, he's never been in the mix with guys like this. So this was he's boxed guys at English level. This is his first step up towards British level now.
Oh, this is his first genuine British level fight. In your opinion?
Yes. 100%.
So
this is his first proper tough test.
So I've seen some rumors about, and I think you've even alluded to it yourself, that you believe that Shakan has, a bit of a suspect chin and shaky legs at times. What's your take on his chin and what you've seen so far when he has been hit by certain opponents?
Oh, can't remember how many times roughly, but at least 5 times he got wobbled bad in the Dex Belmont fight when Dex Belmont caught him every time. We've seen Dex Belmont catch Lyndon Arthur, no effect. We saw him catch Anthony Yard, no effect. So it just shows when he caught him, what was the difference? The same guy punching against 3 different light heavyweights, and he's the only one whose knees buckled. So to me, that shows some suspect signs. And like now he's going to punch. I'll be the biggest puncher. But to be honest, how we conclude this of being the best he stepped up with, I'm the first top 10 light heavyweight he's ever boxed.
Shit me.
Simple. I've boxed top 10s. He's never boxed someone in the top 10s. I'm the first.
Oof.
I think I even saw in the Ultimate Boxer once his first opponent managed to wobble him also. Even like, he dropped the guy and then the guy got up and he wobbled him quite badly as well, I think.
And he got on his back. He got on his back a couple of times. I've seen him get on his back in the Ultimate Boxing tournament. I saw a journeyman hit him with a left hook. He got flush knocked down. He got knocked down 8 count against the journeyman. It was only flush, but he went down. So he showed me signs that it ain't granite. And we've seen me in with very big punches get caught flush.
Yeah.
And, I've been okay. Buglioni, 23 fights or 23 wins, 15 KOs. He hit me multiple times flush within 12 rounds when I was super middleweight. And my legs never gave way. I never got hurt. We tussled it out for 12 rounds. So it showed the difference in class of chins, and I've showed the difference in class in punch power. So I just believe, it's my time to show him now.
So do you believe that fight with Buglioni was a great learning experience and a great way to prepare yourself for now this second British title shot? Because I see online he's been giving you quite a lot of support lately on your build up to this fight, Frank Buglioni. Now he's retired, I noticed. It's
always massive respect with Buglioni. With him at Straight Business, he's a respectable guy, he's a true fighter, a true warrior, that guy. And getting in with the likes of him season taught me a lot. It taught me, I'd never done 12 rounds before either. So to take it on 5 days notice, it showed me that I was capable of doing 12 rounds without even a training camp for it.
Yeah.
So it taught me about myself, what I was capable of, my capabilities. Being such a smaller man with a guy with a high knockout ratio, it showed me how tough and how strong I was. Because when you're in there, you're just fighting. You're not thinking, I wonder I can take it. I wonder how tough I am. You're just fighting. But it's only when you look back, you think, I did get caught some big shots on, and you assess it. You think, okay, yeah, I'm seasoned for this. Because you're not in there trying to survive. You're just there boxing, doing what you got to do, nick and tuck. I've landed some good shots. I boxed well. You could just see that it was experience and fitness really what didn't let me get the nod that night. I had the skills. I just didn't have the experience or the camp to get it all over 12 rounds to do what I needed to do.
Yeah, I do remember you catching him with a mad pullback count in that fight.
I threw a count and a shoulder roll count as well.
Yeah, shook his soul.
I had some good skills, but I just didn't have the experience or the size at the time or the fitness to keep it up for 12. But it's inevitable taking a fight against a seasoned guy who's tried a 12-week camp expecting Callum Johnson, and you're jumping at super middleweight on 5 days notice. No. It was inevitable that eventually his fitness was going to show.
Yeah. So do you think that's stood you in good stead for Friday night? Now you have your second shot at the title.
1,000,000%. I think everything is at the right time. I think, obviously that fight was way too early for me in my experience. Even I took the Higgins fight early, which was a tough, grueling 10-rounder to get the southern area. That set me in good stead for the Buglioni fight. Then the Buglioni fight set me in good stead for the Jake Paul fight, with the big occasion, the pressure. And then the Sterling fight was probably similar to this because it was a lot of pressure on that fight with the whole ends. It was more close to the home, divided down the middle. Same thing, the crowds couldn't wait, sold out event, So the pressure of that occasion, the 50-50 grudge match of him and Jake fight, that they also set me in good stead to get me prepared for the Shakan fight. Because a bit of glimpses of each of them fights remind me of bits of this camp and this fight. So I believe Jake Paul being the bigger light heavyweight at the time taller than me, the bigger puncher though, and awkward southpaw with good feet and good movement. It's similar to Shaq. He's quite evasive. He's a counter puncher, and he's taller than me. So yeah, it's kind of these sort of fights have all set me in good stead. The Buglioni 12 rounder and the ball awkward guy closing it down. All of that together has got me prepared for today. Well, Friday.
All right. Well, obviously you've been training with Peter Sims, Tony Sims as well, in a matchroom gym. Not giving too much away. You guys must have worked on a game plan for this fight.
Yeah, of course, worked on game plans. We've worked hard, diligently. I've learned a lot in the gym in the last year, to be honest. Just as myself as a fighter, I've improved dramatically. Even pushing aside Shaq, and I'm just forget even being him or the British title fight. I'm just excited to go out there and try and perform everything I've been learning in the gym.
Yeah.
I see that you're in there quite late. I see you flicking the light switches off, putting the shutters down. So it's like you're the last man standing in the gym, really.
Always the last man standing. Always the last man standing. Always locking up.
I don't know, because there was another matchroom fighter who fought. It was like a month ago or 3 weeks ago, and he said he's always the last one in, first one in.
Nah.
It was Conor Ben.
Nah, Conor stylish. Listen, he's a good fighter, Conor. Credit to my stable mate. Very good fighter. He trains very hard. I take nothing away from him. But I'm always the last one in the gym. And I'm always locking up. As you see on the stats.
Yeah.
I don't know if he knows how to put the shutters down or turn the lights on.
No, that's good. That's good. So that was the slander then, yeah?
Yeah, it was slander.
Yeah.
I was upset about that. I said, "Oh, this is
maybe
slander."
Maybe he's the first one in, and you're the last one out. But he needs to give you at least.
We definitely I'm the last one out.
Yeah.
I won't argue about who's first, but because sometimes I'm late. But I'm definitely last one out. 1,000,000%. Well overdue time.
He's saying we working.
Come on, we're working. Come on.
So obviously, before we go, let's round it up for us. We're going to see some fireworks tomorrow. What's going to happen? Yeah. Not tomorrow, sorry, I apologise. The weigh-in's tomorrow, Friday.
Yeah, it's going to be fireworks. Going to put on a good show. I'm going to go and display everything I've been learning in the gym and just get ready for this shutdown and the showdown, to be honest.
And if you want to add, Danny?
Yeah, we've got one of your stable mates, John Ryder. He's out in America the same night as you, and then you've got Callum Smith, obviously from over here. He's got a big task ahead of him on Saturday. How do you see both of them doing over in stateside over the weekend, and Triple G for that matter?
First of all, I have to shout out John Ryder. I've been doing camp with him nearly all year. Me and him were grinding the gym. He's been pushing me, learning a lot of him, experienced fighter. You know, he teaches me a lot of little things here and there. Being a seasoned operator, he's been training hard. I believe he'll go out there, get the job done. Late stoppage, I believe. And I believe that even the Callum Smith-Canelo fight, John Ryder obviously gave Callum Smith a run for his money. I believe he won, as most people do. But I do believe that off the back of that, as I'm saying, you can always learn. I believe that Callum Smith will be switched on, knowing he just come off a bad performance. And I believe the size difference, I believe that he could actually get the win.
Mm-hmm.
I know people are going to say I'm crazy, but I just looked at the face-off today and I saw the size difference and I just thought, Callum Smith, no discredit to Rocky Fielding, but I believe he's a lot tougher man and he's going to put his heart on the line. I can't see him turning up for a payday. He could have took other options, you know, a couple stylish options first and then cashed out later on because he's still young.
Yeah,
so I believe that he really genuinely believes he's going to win. And I believe he'll put his heart and soul on the line until the final bell.
And obviously, his brother Liam's already fought Canelo, so do you think he's going to want to avenge the loss of his brother?
Yeah, of course. You can't have both in the family losing. So I believe that he's gonna want to get him back for his brother. Stylistically, Liam Smith had a minimal chance to beat Canelo with the styles of them. They're roughly around the same height. Obviously, Liam Smith's probably just a little bit taller, but it's not really that much far off for Canelo to close the gap and work. And it's a lot of inside work and being who's tougher. And Canelo's got a world-class chin, world-class punch variety, and it's going to be hard to beat him on the inside game for 12 rounds. As he's a specialist at that. But with Callum Smith's height, range, good punch power, he's got the punch power for Canelo to have to respect and not just walk through him. He's tough, so when he gets caught, he'll grit it out for a while and try and keep him at range. So I believe he's got the tools to get the job done. But with that raging bull, pit bull coming at you for 12 rounds, it's never going to be easy. But I believe that he has the minerals and the abilities to win. I wouldn't write him off.
So also, taking it that you're going to bring the belt back to London on Friday night, where do you see yourself going after this? Because obviously there's other domestic fighters out there, Anthony Yard, Joshua Boatsy, Lyndon Arthur, the Commonwealth champion. What would you like to do? What do you think after this, when you get the victory and win the British title?
Of course, my focus is just Friday night, but I would like to move forward to fight for other belts and progress in my career. I feel like after the Jake fight, my last few fights, basically, I've been kind of just bringing people who's been behind me through, and I've not really been progressed in the right direction. Obviously, this fight now will progress me in the right direction, winning the British, so it's a knock on a title and it moves me forward. And I'd prefer to focus on my career more. Any of these fights bring me more titles or exposure or big fights or big paydays, I'm willing to go for them.
Yeah, well, yeah, great. Any final thoughts and questions?
Well, no, he's told us it's going to be fireworks. He told us he's looking for the stoppage. So yeah, man, I can't look forward to it. Live on Channel 5. Broadcasting starts from 10:30 or 10 o'clock, is it?
10:30, Friday night, Channel 5.
So everyone lock in, load in. It's going to be fireworks. Shakan Pitters, Craig Richards, British light heavyweight title. What more can I say?
We're ready to go. I'm going to bring it back to London, boys. And the new. Jeez.
Danny Glover, any words?
Any final thoughts to your supporters and fans out there?
Yeah, I just want to thank all my supporters. It's been a pleasure having you lot behind me. Big shout out to my sponsors. Without you lot, this would be a hard job.
Yeah.
We've had even other little issues. We've got even Elite Fleet helping me. Darius has been on board. Lewis Access, Mark has been tremendous. We've got new sponsors on board. Me Art. Even the physio helping me out. We've had Capital Waste helping me, the meal team preparing all my foods, etc. Even my sponsors over in America, 4-Way Elite, they've been helping me fight after fight. We got thanks Everlast for sending me down stuff to get my training and stuff on board. Sean the Print Town, always there helping me organising my kits, my corner stuff, and taking the pressures off of that, getting that done on time, and even Box Fit helping me out, customizing the boots, looking serious. Everyone who's been behind, you see them looking cold, right? Yeah, all my sponsors. I hope I haven't missed any because they're all very important to me. And yeah, so I really thank everyone who's been behind me and supporting.
All right, Craig. Best of luck on Friday.
Oh, and thanks to all my stable mates who's been helping me grind in the gym as well. And all obviously Peter Sims, of course, been there with me for the last 5 years, grinding out. Tony out there helping as well, and all the boys. So, cheers.
Yeah. Best of luck on Friday. Wish you best, and hopefully we'll catch you after the fight as well.
Catch you after the fight. With
the man. Catch you after
TV. Mount Danny Glover.
Yeah. Take care, guys. Fight Fan TV live. You know where it is.
We out.
Peace.
Catch you in a bit.